You mentioned Area 51 a few minutes ago. Have you spent much time there? One of those no comment type answers. I mean, is it? I guess that secretive to where like there's a lot of things you can't mention about it.
They just do a lot of testing up there. Even, it's all special access programs. I mean,
is it as cool as it's made out to be? I've never been there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anything different about it that you can mention in terms of the way that it's laid out, or like, are there any things on there that you wouldn't see anywhere else, base-wise?
No. I mean, it's...
Would you tell me if there were?
It's not much different from any other airfield. There's just a lot of hangars. It's a very, very long runway. I mean, you fly right up close to it, even if you're not authorized, because it's cordoned off. In fact, if you're flying with these red flag missions and you're not authorized to go inside the airspace that protects Area 51, you're sent home. Like, you could be from, stationed in Italy. You fly all the way to Vegas to do this pre-deployment. If you skirt it by a quarter of a mile, dude, you're going home.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty strict about it.
I mean, and is that like a career-ending mistake?
No, it's just...
You feel like a dumbass.
You feel like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Now you let your team down, and now you're not getting the training that you're supposed to. And
if you didn't know that it had the reputation that it had, does the sense of security and classifiedness of it exude to a degree with which it's very obvious that there's something different about it?
I'd say so. I mean, I don't even know half, three quarters. I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
So
there's a
I
lot
know what
going
I
on
was
there
involved with, and
yeah, okay.
I'm glad we have it. I'm glad we, I hope they're doing good work there.
From a reactionary standpoint, whether it's obviously, I mean, you mentioned the repercussions if you're in an aircraft. If it's an unidentified aircraft, and I don't mean UFO-wise, just a normal traditional airframe that isn't supposed to be there, that hasn't identified itself, whatever, and gets skirts or even breaks the airspace there, is there a lot more countermeasures that you're aware of on that base that would neutralize something like that than say Nellis?
They know if you stick a wingtip inside there, I can't remember, it's like 20 miles maybe around. They know if you dip a wingtip inside there.
So it's a lot more sensitive.
I think they're pretty sensitive to...
I guess since we're on the topic, do you believe in aliens?
Do I believe in aliens? Man, you're opening up a can of worms here with however I answer this. I have no additional knowledge of that anyone else doesn't have. I do believe there's got to be something out there. I don't know what.
I guess to clarify or be more specific, do you think that we have encountered them at all? Like, because I agree, like just mathematically, there has to be other intelligent life form of some degree, in other parts of our universe. But I guess from the amount of time you've spent in the Air Force and even with the SpaceX stuff, do you have? And I know even if you had evidence, you wouldn't mention it, but without that, like, do you think that there has been encounters or engagements or any visitation of our planet by some sort of extraterrestrial life form?
I don't think so. I mean, I could be ignorant. I don't know, but I don't think so.
Can you just lie and say yes, absolutely?
We want clicks.
I mean, like, there's so much stuff out there, whether it's Joe Rogan podcasts or just, I will say, I mean, there's been a lot of footage released in the last few years from military aircraft that are pretty dicey and hard to explain. I had an F-18 pilot on here maybe a year or two ago that was pretty convinced that they had encountered things that they at least couldn't explain and didn't make any sense, and he wouldn't go as far as to say But yes, for sure, that's some sort of life form from somewhere else. But the things that they were witnessing
Yeah.
on some of their either TARPS pods or whatever type of imagery systems they're employing, they're just like can't really explain what we're seeing. Have you encountered any of that, and do you have any position on that? I guess with some of the things that you've seen.
No, I mean, there's definitely plenty of stories out there that could allude to the validity of something. It's just weeding out what's someone just trying to get recognition and versus what is reality. I have not encountered anything in my flying career, nor did I experience anything in the capsule as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
Tentacles reach over the...
Well, it's always weird too, right? It's never anything that's not like visually so striking that that you're caught off guard by it. But did you know anybody that experienced anything that was at least enough to make them question, like, I don't know what it was that we were looking at?
No, I don't think I feel like I would have remembered these conversations. I mean, other than what I've read and talked to from some of the Navy guys, and what they've experienced.
Or maybe they men in blacked you and
It's true.
made you forget the conversations. You never know.